In 2007, YouTube was new, and many who had grown up with Mario Kart 64 were now sharing their personal secrets with the world. New tricks on the courses, secret item areas, and even characters who never made it into the final game. But rumors would also emerge of a secret unlockable character found in Bowser's castle. Secret characters were far more common back in the 90s, as a bonus for playing so much of the game. Nowadays, about every character needs to be advertised to get the game to sell as much as possible, but that wasn't the case in the 90s. There were hidden characters hiding all the time, which kept the games relevant even long after the release. The early days of YouTube was revolutionary for now being able to share real video footage of these old tricks being true and doable, and which rumors were just untrue and didn't even work. However, despite having actual footage often being the proof needed to find out if a rumor from 10 to 20 years ago was a hoax, that didn't stop many from staging and modifying videos to make fake scenarios on how to get these characters. There are so many that turned out to be true, and many that turned out to be false. Hey, that would make for a good series. Look, it was either I did this or poor quality UFO videos from 2007. Actually, that's not such a bad idea. So in 2007, videos would start emerging online of this rumored playable character hiding deep within the Bowser's Castle racetrack. The stage featuring death traps, lava, and even a choir to sing about the descent of terror you are about to embark on. And hiding inside of this madhouse was an enemy so terrifying and so crazy, he had to be locked up by Bowser himself just to protect those that followed him. This is Marty. Really? His name is Marty? The dude from the gas station? Okay, alright. This is the dumbest rumor we've had in the series yet. Okay, so Marty could have existed prior to the internet at the sleepovers. But he got his notoriety in the late 2000s when uploading YouTube videos of Mario games was a new concept. Now, where did the name Marty come from? It's not really known, but it's possible it came from a video that hit YouTube in 2007. Play McElveen uploaded a video to the site that would send this mystery into an all-new light. An off-cam video showing him doing ritual-esque techniques such as circling around the Bowser statues several times and running the racetrack in reverse. Marty would be free. Oh my... Now the validity could be questioned. The video came out in April, but it was also April Fool's Day. However, there was a second video that strangely came out a few days earlier. This one had a proper capture card or such, so now we could get a better look, but there was no sound. The results were the same. Many would try this themselves, yet despite following the video exactly, nothing happened. All the mysteries gone in vain. So the years would pass and this mystery would become a nice piece of history in early YouTube mysteries. Equipment and data miners would become more talented over the years, and other fans would become just far more dedicated, leading to new revelations surrounding the over-decade-long mystery. Super Mario Bros. Broth, an extremely credible blog that concerns itself with the most unexplored, most unknown, and most obscure depths of the Mario franchise, showed how the texture used for Marty was actually never green. He was actually the same color as the other swamp enemies in Bowser's Castle, and it's actually the lighting that causes him to appear green. The bigger mystery is really not if he's in the game. That was false. But what exactly did he do to get behind those bars in the first place?
In May of 2020, a man by the name of Sammy Hall would upload several photos to his online portfolio. He had previously been an employee of the video game company Retro Studios. These images uploaded by him, however, were weird. They featured images from a game no one had ever heard of, based on the Mario enemy, known as Booze. Not only that, but when the reaction came from the public and journalism, the artist just deleted his whole ArtStation account, and all the images with it. Leaving a bit of a mystery behind him. What was this game, and what was he so afraid of?
So for those unfamiliar, the Booze first appeared in the 1988 classic, Super Mario Bros. 3. These shy but lethal ghosts would quickly become a quirky mainstay in almost all of the Super Mario games. From sports to parties, there's always more than a ghost of a chance. You'll see these spooky creatures terrifying the innocent of the Mario franchise.
Which makes them ideal for a spin-off. Would you believe that they almost got one? And by an American studio?
Before we continue this story, we need to know of a certain American game development company by the name of Retro Studios. Originally founded in 1998 in Austin, Texas, as a collaborative effort between Nintendo and Iguana Entertainment founder Jeff Spangenberg. Jeff's company had previously made an adult-aimed video game called Turok for the Nintendo 64.
The goal was for Nintendo to fund this new studio, in hopes of having them develop more mature games for their then upcoming system, the GameCube. Over the course of their existence, Nintendo had lacked a strong lineup of games aimed at older players. They seemed to be looking for a change.
One thing that has not changed is Nintendo having a history of being very protective of their brands. To put it lightly, there have often been some complications in having studios outside of Japan handle their intellectual properties, which makes it even more bizarre that they wanted to work with an American studio on more mature games. Nintendo is very protective and wants to maintain a level of quality. It's understandable that they could fear how a different culture could have different values or tastes that might not align with their hopes for their image. Up until recently, they had been hesitant to approve of Hollywood adaptations of their games and even rejected the idea of doing a Super Mario Bros. Comic written by acclaimed and successful Sonic the Hedgehog writer Ian Flynn of IDW and Archie. While this might come off as strange to be so hesitant to approve of these adaptations, they are far from the only company to do this. Video game publisher Capcom outright canceled a video game based off of the California Raisins, yeah them, that was made in secret by their American team. After the Japanese publisher had seen it appear in a magazine to promote the game, they quickly yanked it from release before it could even hit the market. Retro would fare much better than those Raisins ever did. They would go on to develop the critically acclaimed 2002 classic Metroid Prime, which has recently seen a remake on the Nintendo Switch. But Metroid wasn't the only Nintendo franchise to have the attention of Retro. Around 2006 and 2007, Retro would begin work on The Haunt Project, a Mario spin-off revolving around the Boos. The player would follow the story of a young Boo, freshly graduated from the Haunt University. Now, the concept art was incredible, and the game would excel at horror-esque concepts and theming. These are some of the most screwed up concepts you'd ever see in a Mario game. Our ghost hero appears to be taking on broomies in the art, the possible main enemies of the game. Now, not to be biased, but I love these ideas. The game is believed to have possibly come from the concept of another game Retro was working on, a puzzle game called The Blob Game. Now, Retro pitched the idea of reworking this game with the boos from Mario. It is believed that the boos, though, were only ever added to the concept art in pitches, at least as far as we know. It's fascinating to see how blobs could have affected gameplay. The boos have taken on many forms over the years, so they could have gotten very creative with it. What a shame it never saw the light of day.
So there is literally so much potential in doing a game in this style. What a shame. I don't know why they would cancel a game like...
It's not over yet.
Return the game? Like to GameStop? I ain't getting nothing for this.
So, why was this game cancelled? Over the course of this series, we have seen many games see their production cease due to financial troubles, infighting, and a lack of commitment to the original idea. However, for once, I am pleased to say that this game was a very different story. Apparently, this game was cancelled, not because Retro was just doing that bad, but because they were just that good. Retro, in Nintendo's eyes, was seen as a studio that needed to commit their time to more important projects. They didn't want them wasting their time with this game. Nintendo has been a huge supporter of Retro over the years and sees them as a valuable company for making games. Game development is far from cheap, and they have gone through long droughts without a new game, canceled projects, and even several changes in staff and leadership over the years. Despite all this, the company has survived and still receives paychecks from Nintendo. They have been trusted with some of Nintendo's most popular series and are currently in production of a fourth entry in the Metroid Prime series. While it's a shame to see this Boo game go, if it was for the sake of better projects, then perhaps it's better left alone.
So that concludes the story of the Boo game. The generator usually catches that. Return the... For the last time, no. We've acquired many different games that were canceled over the years. Beta assets, cancel games, you name it, we have it. This game's not getting any special treatment.
Alright, I'll return the game. Where is Waluigi? So we have been receiving a lot of letters lately revolving around alleged encounters with Mario fan favorite character, Waluigi. Waluigi made his first appearance in Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64, where he honestly just kinda showed up as a rival counterpart to Luigi, with his Japanese name literally translating to Bad Luigi. Back in the day, he was often seen as a lame, unoriginal character, but in the more recent years, Waluigi has become a fan favorite for being one of the most zany and wild video game characters to ever exist. However, Waluigi's popularity goes back further. So it was 2004, a mere 4 years after the character's debut, and the world was radically different. We were using flip phones, using dial-up internet, playing Halo 2, and listening to Kelly Clarkson's newest album, Breakaway. And it was also a very different time for games too, especially when it comes to portability. Remember, in these times, portable games were hindered by limitations, so they would have to work with what they had. Games didn't look like this on the go, they looked like this. So when Nintendo introduced the Nintendo DS in 2004, and with it, this, you had all the reason to be excited.
For a limited time, buy a Nintendo DS and get a free copy of Super Mario 64 DS at participating retailers. So now you can control all your favorite characters just by touching them. Rated everyone.
One of the flagship titles for showing the power of the Nintendo DS was none other than a remake of Super Mario 64, one of the first ever 3D adventures that was released to critical acclaim for how groundbreaking and game-changing it was. Its impact on culture still is in effect today, and how this game dominates the internet with its fun, imagination, and rumors.
Oh my gosh, I love playing Mario 64! This is the game of the future! I wonder if there's any secrets.
Okay guys, this is how you unlock Luigi in Mario 64.
I can play as Luigi in this game? Wait, why does Luigi look different in like every video from everyone claiming he's in the game? Oh well, I'm sure it's nothing.
On the fountain is a plaque with very blurry words. Some have speculated that it says L is real 2401. The L is referring to Luigi, who up to this point has been in almost every single Mario game, but was somehow absent from this one.
L is real? L is real. More like L is a bunch of bullshit!
Next up is the Bowser Room. And this is allegedly a secret room that some players recall being found in Super Mario 64. It is described as being a basic, small room, usually with a picture of Bowser and Peach on the wall, as well as some furniture here and there.
Okay, I cannot access the Bowser room, and I've done everything. If you just want the Bowser in the room, just put the turtle in a room!
This is because, during the creation of the game, an experimental AI was used in the flashing of each cartridge's memory.
The basement was believed to be a testing ground for an experimental AI that acted upon a player's cognitive desires to subvert them.
The abstract concept of Super Mario 64 speaks of a macrocosmic spectrum of varying experiences, all unique, all personalized. Every copy of Mario 64 is personalized.
He's probably thinking about other girls.
Is Waluigi in Mario 64?
So, there's everything under the sun in regards to rumors for this game. However, the most famous rumor of all was Luigi being an unlockable character in the game. In what is perhaps the most famous video game urban legend ever, this star statue found in the game's castle courtyard was the subject to many alleged scenarios on how to unlock Luigi. Why this statue? Because it had a bunch of blurry text underneath it that many thought said, L is real 2401. Meaning that surely you could unlock Luigi as a playable character through some secret alternative method, right? Well, over the course of 2+ decades, this would become known as a mere schoolyard rumor, turning a plaque into something more than what it actually was. Well, that was until 2020 when a massive source code leak of Nintendo data was released onto the internet, without the company's approval. This included the source code for Super Mario 64. What was eventually found by people who understand code far more than me was none other than Mario's twin brother, Luigi, hiding in the code. The crazy part? This was found exactly 24 years and 1 month after the game's original release. Now that is proof of collective manifestation if I've ever seen it. So why on earth did the Waluigi rumors gain so much notoriety back then? By the early 2000s, the Luigi rumors found in the original game were widely believed to be false. So for another rumor to emerge in such a similar fashion really would make you question how legit this could be. However, a lot of evidence started emerging. Mario 64 DS would launch in 2004 with 4 playable characters featured: Mario, Yoshi, Wario, and the much sought after Luigi, finally making his debut in 64, but in the form of a remake. It'd still be a bit longer till we'd see him in the OG game in that source code leak. However, once our little gamers got home, opened their brand new Nintendo DS's, and heard that welcoming, cozy music and voice, they asked the same question.
Where is Waluigi?
There have been some standout pieces of evidence to Waluigi's existence in Mario 64 DS. First off, let's talk about the evidence found within the game itself. Every character except Yoshi, who you start out as, is unlocked by entering a portrait of the character hidden throughout the game. After defeating a boss, you obtain a key. There's a special room in the castle that contains 4 special doors. One for Mario, one for Luigi, and one for Wario. And just looking at this room looks rather sketch. Like there's a whole 4th door here that can be accessed in the game after collecting 8 white rabbits. Once you enter the door, you are presented with a star. Stars help you progress through the game, but there are literally 149 other stars in the game, and why go to all the trouble of making a 4th door and a whole side quest just for an optional star?
Or what if they're hiding Illuminati secrets? No, probably not.
What also doesn't help is the game uses the color purple in some rather questionable places. In the Rec Room, which is exclusive to the DS version, mind you, there are green, red, and yellow dots, as well as purple. In the menu screen, all the colors of the characters are present, as well as purple. And perhaps the most interesting piece of evidence is in the instruction book for the game. It shows a purple rabbit? Was this an error? Or a part of the beta? Was this all a part of a greater conspiracy?
Waluigi's in Super Mario 64 DS! He's in there. Waluigi's behind these walls. These concrete structures can't hold him back, and they won't hold me either. I know he's in there. Nintendo is hiding all the answers! He's in here. He's right here.
Sir, I really don't think that's very likely.
He's in here! I know he's in there. I've played him before. Waluigi is in Super Mario 64. That rhyme. The big man is hiding the truth from the masses. This is the truth and nothing else matters. All our theories are completely and utterly irrelevant. This is the truth, nothing else. What's that guy's problem?
So the evidence for Waluigi continues outside the game online. There were many rumors claiming to reveal the true method on how to unlock Waluigi. First, we must cover the most famous of all of these: purple prizes. In 2005, an image emerged online of someone who had allegedly found Waluigi in Super Mario 64 DS. This famous image would go on to be known as Purple Prizes, named after the article he had allegedly found it from. This image would spread like wildfire, appearing on numerous message boards and even IGN. What looks to be a magazine scan of sorts shows Waluigi talking to the reader directly. It shows him having unique abilities, such as higher jumps, a power flower that lets him run and swim at higher speeds. There was even an apparent secret ending after freeing Waluigi. Many were skeptical of this, with many YouTube videos attempting to disprove it. The logic in some of these, however, is basically the 2009 equivalent of modern day Twitter response logic. Like, look at some of these, it's just terrible. However, a keen eye, especially in the modern age, will tell you that this is likely a fraud. The model itself is rather choppy compared to its pixelated brethren, and the text font at the bottom gives this away in the modern day. I mean, it's not Comic Sans, but what magazine used this? This was all proven in December of 2011, 6 years later, when a man claiming to have been behind the whole thing stepped in the light, named Andrew Brown. Brown came to Nintendo World Report to tell his personal experiences as the man behind the famous hoax, such as how fast it spread and the far-out claims made in those YouTube videos trying to disprove him. While this was indeed a fraud, some of these claims were untrue and a result of these skeptics' imaginations, such as some saying Waluigi had a C on his gloves as opposed to his trademark upside-down L. Yeah, they were really stretching here. Purple Prizes was made after Andrew had graduated from a multimedia course involving 3D modeling and animation and had been making 3D fan art of Nintendo characters. He was inspired by the aforementioned Luigi in Super Mario 64 rumors from back in the day. He enjoyed the absurdity of the matter and with all of its insane methods to unlock him. He aimed to make a parody of this, but for a whole new generation in the modern age. A kind of homage to its campy legacy. The original Waluigi model used for this has been lost to time, in a void of backup CDs. But he did manage to find a half-finished test render. Purple Prizes has left its own legacy behind it, and is actually looked back on by many who were fooled with fond memories. However, the truth behind Waluigi doesn't end here. By 2010, the Waluigi rumors were still making rounds online. Many could be easily disproved as fake. One user amongst these was a YouTuber who still makes content today, www.wario. As a joke on April Fool's Day, he decided to make his own Waluigi fake with Photoshop for the fun of it.
So let me start off by explaining how this theory was brought back to life. And it actually happened to me, because a few years ago on April 1st, I uploaded a fake Waluigi picture of what's made by me in Photoshop, just to have a good laugh, and the day after I told everyone that there was an April Fool, and that everything was fake.
However, little did he know at the time that he was about to be involved in one of the most major searches for Waluigi himself.
His name was Arceus2401, and he told me that he had unlocked Waluigi, like many others have said. I told him that, okay, give me evidence and I'll believe you.
For those wondering where that name came from, Arceus is a Pokemon. The god of Pokemon. Pokemon is weird. Anyways, he stated that he had managed to unlock our favorite purple anti-hero, but www.wario was skeptical. Also, YouTube names out of context are weird. www.wario was skeptical and was awaiting the typical response of, oh, I lost my DS and I don't know where it is now, or otherwise. However, Arceus wasn't playing games. I guess he was. It's a Mario game, but you know what I mean. As he was sent 8 download links, all containing pictures of what he had uncovered.
What he said was unexpected, because he's told me that, alright, I'll give you pictures, just tell me how to do it. So I just simply told him about the webpage he could upload pictures to, and a few hours later I got a message from him with 8 different download links. And all of them led to a picture each. I was very excited to look at the pictures, and to my surprise, every single one of them looked extremely real. Simply because they were not just taking screen pictures of an emulator of on a PC, no, they were actually taking pictures of the DS itself.
Gotta say, for 2010, when many didn't even know how to upload a camera picture to the internet, these are pretty good. So, what was the story behind these pictures? To simplify it, the scenario would basically revolve around the mirror room from Mario 64. You'd enter a hidden level found in the game where you actually unlock Wario. But instead of defeating the boss like usual, you'd collect a bunch of coins, get a mushroom, then beat the boss and wait a bit. Like several hours. You then enter what is likely the mirror room again and find a new door. This door takes you to what he describes as the reverse world. Reverse Uno card. In said reverse world, you find the entrance to Waluigi's secret level. Now, what exactly was in that portrait? We don't really know. Arceus didn't speak good English. It seemed as if all his messages were a translation from another language, which made all of his messages like some sort of decoding test. Like this one, for example, where he talks about unique dialogue the characters will say after you unlock him. Or this classic, where he talks about tapeworms?
It's hard to understand him sometimes, especially when he writes like this. When I asked him questions, he wrote a lot of weird things. It's just weird. I'm gonna read one of those many weird messages to you right now. I believe that tapeworms that I'm having won, not having entered the mirror, having gone to any game, I recommend you to take, or catch, the level of the clock at 9 AM. This way, that starts. That you lost it in the toad? Because it turns out that tapeworms that you lose the cap can catch a star.
Like, tapeworm enemies? Regardless of what was encountered inside that portrait, what we do know was inside there was a boss. This boss being that of a piranha plant enemy commonly found in many Super Mario games. This boss ruled over the other plants, and defeating her would grant the key to unlock Waluigi. Right. Well, I think it's time we actually got to the source of all this. That's right, we're gonna ask someone who works at Nintendo and find out if this whole Waluigi Conspiracy is real.
Hey, Preston, what's going on, man? Talk to me. What games we got going for the new Nintendo Direct? Donkey Kong? Did you just say Donkey Kong? Another Donkey Kong game, Preston? What's next, Mario Tea Party? This is ridiculous. No, I'm not having it. I want another game on my desk by 3 p.m. today, 1 hour, or guess what, buddy? You're fired. I'm not dealing with this crap anymore.
Sir, Waluigi Super Mario 64 DS, where is he?
Sir, get off me right now.
Where is he?
Before I call the police.
Sir!
Security! We got another Waluigi wackadoo out here!
I want the truth! The truth!
Well, as you can see here, the truth has unfortunately been hidden from the public. What a shame. That didn't work at all. So instead, we're going to throw up a search team and try to find out how to unlock Waluigi in Super Mario 64 DS using this random guy from the internet's tactics. Wish us luck.
Are you really wasting my time with another one of these stupid tapes?
I'm not asking you to follow. I'm simply giving you a formal invite for a new perspective.
Dedicating so much of your time to this? Why give these fabrications any of your time?
A price to pay for those that seek greater purpose.
To speak a conspiracy in this day and age can reduce your credibility to mere rubble. Why?
All truth has 3 stages. First, it's ridiculed. Second, it is oppressed. And last, it is accepted as fact and self-evident.
True, but have you understood that if this was fabricated for power and manipulation, it's dangerous to play games with those linked to hoaxes?
To this evidence in question, I ask, what would it mean if everything were true?
Okay, Arceus2401 is a fraud. When you're not trying to decode his broken English, you're literally following vague instructions that literally require you to do things, such as waiting for something to happen. This is some hardcore trolling, and he took everyone for fools. No matter what our team tries, the Piranha Plant boss remains unable to be reached. Now, what were those pictures? Psh, who knows? Perhaps they were fakes. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of all these rumors. However, there is one more piece of evidence in this grand Waluigi Conspiracy. The last thing that might finally put us on the trail to find him. The 2D black box. In the heyday of Waluigi rumors, there was a consistent trend between rumors. The 2D black box. Now, what is this? You might have missed it, but in the file select screen for Mario 64 DS, there is this bizarre black box just chilling on the title screen. Once you see it, you can't really not notice it. When you explore the castle in the game, you cannot see this box. Why is that? If this could be a mysterious hint to Waluigi, then why can't we see it in the courtyard too? Well, the Waluigi theorists gave an explanation. Instead of a graphical error on the title screen, this thing is instead a 2-dimensional object, meaning that it can only be seen from said perspective. I guess it checks out. Many different rumors would claim that if you could somehow get the object to move from the 2nd dimension to the 3rd dimension, you could jump into it and be transported to whatever leads you to Waluigi. I don't know, the Rabbit King? Okay, enough. It's a graphical error. It's not Waluigi. We started out talking about an unlockable character in a Mario game. Now all of a sudden we're talking about the 2nd dimension? What's even the point? You can play as Waluigi in a mod or in other games. Better games. I guess it's mail time? So, Waluigi. You know, I think I know why the Waluigi rumors are so wonderful. They spark imagination. The concept of these rumors, while based off an unlikely scenario, is so captivating to many of us, especially kids. A lot of those on the online scene when YouTube was new were young, captivated by the new technology, and were far more experimental. There's a sense of adventure in it. Kids don't focus on what is the most likely or quote-unquote realistic. They find a fun concept and run with it. How many of these crazy methods to unlock him required a lot of creativity and fun to come up with? So many of us tried these methods and came up empty-handed. But yet, most look back on the Waluigi hoax with such fond memories. So many, as we get older, just look for the end result of the goal, but forget it's really less about the goal, as cliche as it sounds, and more about the fun that can come from the journey. discovering a new method to try to finally unlock him, doing the work yourself, reaching out to others on message boards and YouTube comment sections of all things, making fun, shoddy videos on your parents' computer about evidence that he might be in there. It's fun. There is so much debate online often of why Game A that I grew up with is better than Game B that you grew up with. With franchises now that have been around for decades, the truth is, like with anything noble, it's not about what game had the best gameplay and features, or what movie was most accurate to the source material. It's about whatever the event was that made you feel joy. Perhaps it's opening up your first Disney movie on VHS, and then eventually showing that VHS to your own kids. Perhaps it's an amazing experience with someone you love by water during a sunset. Perhaps it's turning a black box into a gateway to fun. Some things can be considered pointless to goals, but it's not about the goal. It's about the feelings you felt in the present moment that connected you to something greater and divine. No matter what age you are, don't forget to take time for joy in what is around you. Next thing you know, you're at the place you wanted to be.